Welcome back to the Rules of Engagement. We're now into the Q&A section. First question is going to be from Charles White. Maybe related to Walter White? Hopefully not. Against Swarmhost Heavy Zerg as Toss, what upgrades would be more beneficial? 3 attack, 1 armor. I think it means armor, not shield there. Or more balance, 2 attack, 2 armor. So you want to get the 3 attack, 1 armor. In almost any situation against Zerg, but especially against Swarmhost heavy play. And the reason why is because Locusts do pretty high base damage, right? Armor is not that big against Locusts. And the big issue is if Locusts are even attacking you at all, you're already actually kind of losing. So you really want to avoid getting hit by Locusts. Armor's not that good. Attack, though, is very useful because if you're going Colossi, they'll clear up the Locusts very fast before they get the attacks off with the higher range. If you're not going Colossi, you can't fight Locusts at all anyway, and the attack will help your Zealots base trade better. And versus Zerglings, attacks generally slightly better for Zealots than armor is, although both are good. So attack is definitely much better against Swarmhosts. If in doubt against Zerg, just always get attack. Actually, there's almost no situation. Only some weird situation with the Broodlords is ever armor better. Next question from Julian ONeill. What is the best defense early game as Toss against Zerg Rush or Marine Rush? So the best defense by far, Mothership Core. Mothership Core, make sure that should be the first or second combat unit you get against Zerg or against Terran, unless there's some weird builds, but in general, Mothership Core should be your first or second unit you build against Zerg or Terran, for the most part, especially if you want to be safe. After that, if you're playing a macro style, so you're looking to defend rushes, your other units should be sentries, and then you should combine those 2 force fields with Photon Overcharge. You should be able to hold off the aggression very well. Against Zerg, make sure you have a wall so the Zerglings can't get at you. And you can only use the 1 force field or put a unit in the way to block their path. Against Roaches, Mothership Core can shoot them constantly, Photon Overcharge. And then force field as well can help buy you time. Next question from Derek Stacy. What are the ideal timings for scouting? I'm Terran. I like to be greedy and not waste mules. When do I send my SCV to look? So, I might advise even trying to work in Reapers into your build. There's a lot of good builds where you get like, it's more versus Protoss. This is a Protoss-specific build. You get 1 Marine, then you get 1 Reaper, then you get a Reactor and a Command Center roughly at the same time. And the Marine chases the Scouting Probe away, stands behind a wall to deal with Zealots. Reaper does the Scouting. But you don't have to do that. You can use SCV Scouts. Great time against Protoss is at the 6-minute mark, send that SCV in. If the units are, you can usually get in range to see the Nexus if you come at a weird angle. I mean, if the Stalker kills you, it sometimes happens. But 6 minutes, if they're moving out, a lot of times they will be, you'll sneak in there and at least see whether or not they have an expansion. The key thing is, though, is get that SCV. It's like the first one you use to scout, don't bring it back to your base. Hide it in the corner of the map and then sneak into their expansion from a weird angle. Sometimes you need to hide up behind the minerals and they might miss it, but I wouldn't recommend that. Similar thing against Zerg. Your first SCV keeps ID on the gas timing, then either Reaper or another SCV at like the 6-minute mark. Terran versus Terran, it's really hard to scout against Terran because they have Marines. So in that matchup, I think you're going to have to use the Reaper or Scan. You're probably not going to sneak an SCV in against Terran. That wraps up the Q&A. Thank you guys for watching Rules of Engagement. Be sure to follow WCS. North American Qualifiers start this weekend. We'll be doing some coverage in the weekend and a lot more coverage throughout the coming weeks. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.